"Go, foreigner, and tell the Spartans that here we lie, obedient to their laws." In this poem written by the poet Simonides, it was the request of King Leonidas, speaking through his mouth, to inform the city of Sparta. The reason for addressing as a foreigner is that not a single Spartan could survive to deliver the message from the battlefield to Sparta. King Leonidas had come to the Thermopylae Pass with 300 elite warriors. Not a single one of them returned to Sparta alive after facing hundreds of thousands of Persian soldiers. While they may not have won a victory, it became an honorable tale of defeat that would be remembered for nearly 2,500 years. Back in that time, under the Achaemenid Empire, the Persians united and conquered Lydia, Babylon, and Egypt, establishing a vast empire that challenged the world. The new target of the Achaemenid Empire, now under King Xerxes, was the Greek territories. Xerxes' father, Darius, had attempted this before but suffered a significant defeat at the Battle of Marathon against the Athenians. Now Xerxes aimed for the Greek lands, and emissaries were sent to the independent and scattered Greek city-states, urging them to submit to the Persian rule. Most Greek kingdoms were afraid to oppose the Persians, but the spark that ignited the war came from Athens and Sparta. Persian emissaries sent to Athens and Sparta were executed by the Greeks. This event led to the formation of an alliance among the Greek city-states, and they prepared to face the Persians. Some Greeks believed that the Persians would take years to reach them, as they considered the Persians to be barbarians and undeveloped. However, the Persians, under King Xerxes, devised a clever way to transport their army quickly across the Hellespont by connecting their ships side by side, creating a bridge. In response, the Greeks formed an alliance, but the strategy for the war was debated. The Athenians would fight by sea, while the Spartans would fight on land. King Leonidas believed that holding the Thermopylae Pass was the best strategy, as the narrow passage through the mountains would negate the numerical advantage of the Persian army. However, Leonidas faced opposition from the ephors, the leaders of Sparta, who adhered strictly to the laws, including the prohibition of waging war during the Carneia festival. Despite this, Leonidas took his best 300 soldiers, and with volunteer forces along the way, the Greek forces numbered around 7,000. As they reached the Thermopylae Pass, Leonidas and his forces waited for the Persians. A Macedonian messenger warned Leonidas that if he didn't want to be crushed under the feet of the Persians, he should retreat immediately. However, Leonidas chose to stand his ground. The Persians, with an enormous army, included 46 different ethnic groups, totaling over 2 million soldiers according to the historian Herodotus. When the Persians advanced, the ground shook, and rivers dried up when they drank. This symbolic gesture was a sign of peace. Xerxes offered Leonidas peace, proposing that if they surrendered, they would become friends of the Persians. However, the Spartans, bound by their laws, would not bow down. After failed negotiations, the battle began. For 4 days, the Persians refrained from attacking, suspecting a trap. On the 4th day, another envoy was sent with an offer of land and water if the Spartans laid down their arms. Leonidas's response, "Come and take them," was a clear rejection. This led to the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BCE. The Spartans, with their phalanx formation, held off the Persian attacks. However, on the 2nd day, Xerxes deployed the Immortals, his elite force, against the Spartans. Despite heavy losses on both sides, the Spartans stood firm. On the 3rd day, the Persians launched a dual assault from both sides. The Spartans, though heavily fatigued and outnumbered, fought valiantly. The turning point came when a local resident named Ephialtes betrayed the Greeks by revealing a mountain path that allowed the Persians to flank them. Learning of this secret path, some Greeks abandoned the battlefield, but Leonidas and the remaining Spartans, along with Thespians and Thebans, stayed to hold the pass. In the final moments, overwhelmed by the sheer numbers, Leonidas fell in battle. After his death, Xerxes showed his anger by mutilating Leonidas's body and placing his head on a stake. The Persians proceeded to burn many Greek cities, but their naval defeat at the Battle of Salamis and subsequent logistical issues forced them to retreat from Greek territories. Today, there stands a memorial statue in the region dedicated to King Leonidas, a symbol of the brave stand against overwhelming odds at the Battle of Thermopylae.